Hi Pisces, and welcome to your August 2022 General Tarot Forecast. This is Sky coming on to talk to you about your month ahead of August. I will be doing some intuitive messages for you and also a week-to-week tarot forecast, followed by an extended reading on Patreon. Let's get into it. Okay, so I'm really happy with the energy coming up for you, Pisces. I think that this is a much greater time of pursuit of happiness for you. I think that due to the Uranus-Mars North Node conjunction in Taurus, you're actually one of the signs that can benefit from this, as it's happening at a sextile angle to you. If you haven't seen any information about that transit, there is a video on my channel about it. But basically, it's a pretty chaotic one for a lot of people, and it can be for anybody. And I think for everybody, it's really shaking things up and really resolving a lot of unresolved things. It really is potentially offering a lot of order to some of the previous chaos, but some of the questions that it requires and some of the reviews and some of the experiences that it's putting onto our path are not easy to face in the moment, but they offer a much greater feeling of security once we go through it. So is there a little bit of a gauntlet here? Yes, but I feel for your sign, it's the least of a gauntlet, and it's more like it's like a verification, or it's like a check, or it's like some type of verification of your nobility or verification of your standing in some way, and it's positive. It's like anything that maybe contradicts the foundation you've built for yourself, I think will get uncontradicted, or it will be resolved. Also, anything that you have been just kind of unsure about or kind of chewing over in your mind for a long time, I'm talking years, these types of things could be resolved for you favorably right now. So it might be hard to ask the question, it might be hard to start the process, but the process does favor you. So I would definitely suggest for any Pisces people that you take advantage of this time and bring clarity to anything in your life that has been like a long-running, unresolved issue, because it's a good time for that. Also, I think you will be celebrated during this time. I think that people are seeing you as more formidable now with the Four of Wands, the Nine of Pentacles, and the Three of Cups as well. There's a certain consensus of your formidability, I would say, coming up here, which is nice to see, as Pisces can sometimes be seen as very flexible and sometimes even too flexible or too wavering. So you are really expressing where you want to be, who you are, and major identity securing stuff. So if you've been having identity insecurity, if I can say it, if you've been having self-concept issues, if you haven't really understood who you are or what your significance in any context is, this month is going to help you through a minor shakeup that resolves whatever mechanism is supporting this kind of unsteadiness. And it could feel very unsteady. Okay, I just want to tell you all, especially at the very beginning of August, there could be a very expansive feeling of unsteadiness. Like, wow, I don't know how this is going to go. I don't know what the answer to this question is going to be. I don't know what these people are going to tell me, especially if you're relying on people to provide you information or to provide you some type of resolution. I feel like there's a pending phase, but it quickly follows up in your favor. Another thing that I would say for you in the month of August, Pisces, is enjoy it. Okay, there's something that needs to be enjoyed here by you. It's almost like a realization of your status. Okay, whatever status that is, it's like benefiting from whatever the verdict is of something, or benefiting from whatever you learn about yourself and about your circumstances. Enjoy it. Lean into it. It feels like you might have been trying to push up against a brick wall for a long time, but now you kind of see what space you're actually in, and with that knowledge you can benefit more from it or have a nicer experience. So it's like the Nine of Pentacles is one of my favorite cards in the tarot, and what I like about that card is it kind of depicts a feeling of ease and abundance in that situation. But I'm sure that that person could find something to be upset about or find something to be worrying about, but they're not. They're allowing themselves to be one with the moment, and they're allowing themselves to lean into the moment. They're allowing themselves to trust in that present moment and enjoy it. Okay, so anything that evokes worrying about the future, losing sleep, not feeling comfortable with where you are, Of course, you need to take that stuff seriously, but I just feel that in the month of August, you start to really get stuff together, and you don't have to worry about it that much anymore, and you can actually have a much more easy time of momentum. Like, instead of pushing against things, I feel that you have more of like a headwind of sorts. Like, imagine like you're sailing a ship and you've got like the wind in your favor versus like sailing against the wind. There's a big need also to turn or pivot in a way where it feels like you're not pushing against the wind. Anyway, Pisces, let's talk about your week to week. Week number 1, you've got the Knight of Swords reversed, rooted down by the Page of Pentacles. So it's about other people in the first week. And it seems like you're relying maybe on professionals, or you're relying on people who can help you figure something out. And it's kind of like you realize, I can't do this all myself, or I can't be DIY with every single thing in my life. I've got to let other people help me, or I've got to let other people provide their expertise. So it's a very nice time during this configuration, which happens during the first week, Uranus, Mars, in the North Node. For everybody, it's an important time to think about, okay, what am I trying to do that I don't know how to do? Where am I out of my league at? What am I trying to like build a house with my own 2 hands when I need to be having like an architect here? Okay. Am I trying to like be my own lawyer? Am I trying to be my own doctor? Am I trying to be my own psychologist? Am I trying to be my own architect? This is a current kind of cultural phenomenon where we have one of the most DIY cultures that has ever existed. And that's cool. Like, it is creating a nice like jack of all trades feeling in a lot of people. And it is making this sort of like major wave of generalism, or knowing a lot about a little, or a little about a lot, especially a little about a lot. Okay. And it kind of, the precision really suffers with it, is the downside. But then the plus side is, yes, that people are less reliant on other people. But there's a question of how durable the structures that they're creating are, okay, without certain expertise. And then there's sometimes a lot of messes we have to clean up with our own 2 hands. That is something that I want you to think about, Pisces, in the first week. Who can I have help me? Because it feels like there's a lot of people who would do what you're trying to do yourself. And it's just a matter of like explaining to them or asking them the right questions. Okay. It's almost like your communication, okay, with the Knight of Swords reversed, is the only impediment in having a lot of help. Okay. Can you just communicate your need for help to the right people, rather than putting yourself through sleepless nights or labor, more labor than you need, to not have to communicate, but nonetheless get stuff done. Page of Pentacles is rooting that down. So there is this like maybe allure of doing things yourself. Again, Page of Pentacles is a very DIY energy, and it's like because of that, it's not like the king, like it's going to always have a certain lightness about it, which isn't bad, but it has to eventually evolve. So I feel like you're up for an upgrade or an evolution. Week number 2, 3 of Cups rooted down by the Page of Swords. So there's a new consensus. Okay, there's a new way that people are reinforcing you. Okay, you might also have a lot of correspondence, or you might have a lot of people sending you messages, sending you requests as well. It just feels like, again, your communication is the biggest important, or your communication is the most important thing this month. Okay, it's not so much your reliance on other people or the events, but it's like how you communicate to maybe motivate certain events. Page of Swords is also a communicative sign, a communicative archetype. It's like the way that you communicate in these group events, or if you're having friends over, or if you're doing projects with other people, that's what it's all about for you. And it really is now about relationships. Okay, not so much about some of the more mundane or, object-oriented life experiences. This is about other people, and it's about, other real life, things. So there's this obsession with inanimate objects, right? With like social media and technology and AI, and a lot of people are losing their benefits that relate from having positive relationships with real people, So it's something to think about in the second week. Can we have more positive relationships with people? Week 3, biggest week of your month, the Hanged Man rooted down by the 9 of Pentacles. Something loves what you've created for yourself within you. Okay, so there's a part of you that just loves the status of your current experience, and it just kind of wants to be still. Both of those cards show a certain stillness, calmness, and tranquility. There's a need to heal and rejuvenate through just kind of soaking up the environment around you. That would be a wonderful time for a vacation. Yes, a wonderful time for a weekend getaway, a wonderful time to be out in nature, and a wonderful chance to just kind of still and learn through stillness without a bunch of racket, without a bunch of correspondence, without a bunch of people surrounding you. So your like overarching moral for this month is like kind of drawing the pros and cons of having like a lot of people around you and a lot of chatter and a lot of communication, and then having like complete stillness and like oversight just of the environment you're in. And that contrast has something to teach you this month. Okay, week number 4, you have the 4 of Wands rooted down by the 5 of Wands, okay? So you have chronological order in the 4th week. Something is coming into order. Something is on the right track in the 4th week. You have a feeling of celebration. Some of you could be getting engaged, or some of you could be committing to something, or preparing for a graduation, preparing for some type of ceremony in the 4th week, maybe sending invitations to a graduation ceremony, or sending out invites to some type of I don't know, get together or something. It feels really nice to celebrate your accomplishments, Pisces. It also feels really nice to host your own events, or to host your own get-togethers, to have like people that you care about coming to your house, okay? And for it to be your event, or for you to be the host and not for you to be the attendee. Okay, this is important, Pisces. I feel like you're changing from like the attendee to the host here. So that's a big shift in role for you. So I think like maybe creating a new household, or creating a new sense of ownership in your life, or something like that, has a lot to offer you here. Because Pisces is usually more of that role of like the person who's attending, or the person who is invited. And I think you're shifting more to he or she who invites here, okay? It's rooted down by the 5 of Wands. So you have like maybe, I don't know, creative disputes, or it would be nice to be doing competitive sport or something, to be channeling the energy. Again, you kind of vacillate between like stillness and activity a lot this month. So that's a little bit volatile, but it's not bad. You know, you don't have like majorly volatile energy in this reading, but there's a little bit of volatility here, and it's a little bit of like, wow, I want to be still, and wow, now I want to be really mobile, and finding a happy medium would be good. But yes, in the 4th week, you would do well to like, I don't know, play games with people at your house, or have, I don't know, competitions or something at your house, like fun and games seems in order for you. And it's like kind of smaller stuff like this that has a lot to teach you energetically this month. But anyway, Pisces, let's talk a little bit more about that in your extended reading on Patreon. I do a lot over there on Patreon. I do weekly tea chats. I do all of the readings ad-free and with extended readings, which you get access to all of them if you sign up for the service. And it really helps to support my channel, so come check it out. I'll link it below and in the center of your screen now. Have a beautiful month, Pisces. Bye.